Hello, I'm Rob Thomas, and welcome to another edition of The Road Back, brought to you by Club and Resort Business, Club and Resort Chef, and the Club and Resort Chef Association. Today's episode of The Road Back is brought to you by Technogym. Technogym, known all over the world as the Wellness Company, offers fitness products for the club industry, including cable station gyms, exercise bikes, fitness accessories, gym benches, gym stretching equipment, professional rowers, selectorized machines, stair climbers, treadmills, and much more. Technogym's goal is to make wellness accessible to everyone, everywhere, regardless of age. This is why the Technogym logo is synonymous with wellness worldwide. To learn more about Technogym and the My Wellness app, visit technogym.com. For today's fresh insight into how clubs are meeting the challenges posed by the coronavirus pandemic, and are finding new and innovative ways to boost business levels and start to return to full operation, we're talking with Brian Coker, fitness manager, and Ashley Lane, program manager at the Keowee Key Club's Fitness and Racket Center in Salem, South Carolina. Brian and Ashley, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be here.
Hey, if you could tell us real quick, before we start off we're talking about a triathlon today, but before we start, how did the pandemic first hit y'all in March? I mean, did we shut down for a little bit, I imagine?
So we, kind of like everyone else, it introduced itself, and we started looking at the different concerns and how we would address those, people wearing masks, or do we shut down to clean? And then Keowee Key itself had a case come in. It wasn't at the fitness center, but it was a member at the club. We got 3,000 members. And at that point, everything was new, and kind of the reactionary response was, okay, let's just shut down all the amenities and gather our thoughts, figure out what we're going to do. Some amenities were only shut down for a couple weeks, maybe even a week. Our tennis courts were shut down for 2 weeks. Pickleball courts shut down for 2 weeks. They opened back up. The fitness center was actually closed for about 2 months. That was really based on what the governor of South Carolina was saying. And once he made that call to open up health centers again, we opened back up. During that 2-month shutdown, we kind of used it as an opportunity to upgrade our facility and do a lot of things that were a challenge when there were members around on an everyday, all-day basis. We redid our locker rooms. We redid several things. And then we opened up 2 months later, and we had a whole reservation system on our computer set up at that point, where we were open for an hour and a half where people make that reservation. And then we shut down for 30 minutes. We clean everything and usher everyone out. And then the new group comes in. They're there for another hour and a half. They leave. We clean everything. And we do that until we close at 9 p.m. And that's where we are now, still doing that.
Great. So let's fast forward to the triathlon. First, why a triathlon? I understand there's not one but two legs to this triathlon. Well, I should try 3 legs to the triathlon, but yeah. 2 different triathlons y'all hosted. Why a triathlon?
Well, Ashley, she just came onto board. Actually, when we opened back up, she joined our team right about that point. And she has brought all kinds of creative ideas. She comes from an extensive rowing background. I don't want to speak too much for Ashley, but obviously triathlons, it's basically competitive exercise. So she had some great ideas. Ashley, do you want to add to that at all?
Well, so they ran the triathlon last year, and I think that this is just such a fantastic setting to have that with the pool that they've got, the area that they use for the spin bikes, and then there's a track around the tennis courts outside here at the fitness center, which is just such a great amenity. And so going into the second year of that, it's just such a fantastic way to get people involved. And then we expanded it into 2 days because I think, especially with COVID, taking this outside to the North Leisure Trail beach it was a really fun idea. And I think that it allowed more people to participate and participate safely. Just having everything outside and having all the space to work with has been really nice.
The lake itself, I mean, it's a beautiful part of the state, part of the country, really. So, being able to capitalize on that right there at the lake shore, at the same time offering a safe way to participate was a double win.
How was this promoted to the members?
So we also have a communications director, Cindy McKean, who does a phenomenal job with really anything we have going on here. She jumps on. We have a monthly newsletter, our newspaper really, and then we have a weekly newsletter. We have TVs throughout the building where some TVs have regular TV stations, but then we also have like announcements that scroll through where we put that stuff up. Ashley, she got a big triathlon banner made, and we put that at the front. Ashley did these flyers, these like brochures that we passed out. So we tried to exhaust all opportunities for communication to the membership.
And how was participation?
It was good. It was enough to be really fun and what we would consider a really successful event. That was our number one obstacle is trying to get people to come out of that shell of quarantine and kind of get out of their comfort zone and participate. Once they did participate, they realized that they felt very safe and it was fun and they were really glad. But we would imagine that in the years to come, it's going to get more and more and really be successful.
And the staff, you guys were very involved in the event, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, Ashley, you can speak to that.
So this is coming in and kind of starting this right from the get-go. I felt so supported with Brian, especially having done this last year. And then the entire staff at the Fitness and Racket Center is just so phenomenal. Everybody really pitched in. And then we also had volunteers coming from Keowee Key residents as well. So everything ran so smoothly. And I cannot say enough nice things about the people who work here. It's just, they do such a phenomenal job.
COVID protocols, they forced you guys to change a little bit from last year to this year, correct? What did you guys do? Why? I mean, obviously why you had to do it, but how did you address COVID?
Yeah, so the biggest thing about last year that would break protocol was just the gathering inside. I mean, last year everybody was shoulder to shoulder, building was packed, cheering people on. It was a really cool event last year. Obviously, we couldn't do that this year. So what we did is we took, the swim is in our indoor pool. We had there, the pool actually opens up to the outside. So the spectators could gather kind of around the building, still outside, spread out. Once the racers finished swimming, they would then go outside where the bikes are and they'd bike outside and then run outside as well. So we kept everybody outside, spread out. It was pretty easy once we moved everything outdoors.
What was member feedback? Have you heard anything from the members who participated and those who maybe want to in the future?
So I've already talked to a couple competitors and they're ready to go for next year and just excited. And I think this is it's a foundation that we keep building on, and I'm excited to be a part of it, but I'm already looking forward to next year. And I think that the same people who participated in the race this year are going to participate next year, it sounds like. And then we're just looking forward to getting new members involved and kind of trying to think of other ways to get people active and participating in the triathlon. So
one of the things Ashley did, which is what we didn't do last year, is she created this training outline and training group that it was basically 8-week training leading up to the race, where she had like 25 pages of stuff. We talked about it on a Wednesday morning, and then the next day she puts 25 pages on my desk. I'm like, well, all right, that's exactly what we want. Which just helped motivate the members even more. They got build excitement, encourage more people to participate. It was really a lot of good feedback through the whole process.
Will there be any changes? Are you guys already planning any changes for next year's event?
Yeah, we're always, as the event's going on, you pick out things like, all right, next time maybe we should do this way. I did. What are some things, Ashley, that you would change?
Nothing about the overall event itself. I think having the 2-day event and having 2 different distances, hopefully we can carry that through next year, because I think that having the shorter distance just is going to really encourage people who have either never participated in a triathlon before or are just kind of starting their fitness journey in that direction, encourages them to participate that way. And then having the longer distances, the actual sprint triathlon, really encourages people who have been involved in triathlons or some sort of competitive sport before. Mm-hmm. And so I want to keep that the same way, but I think it'll be the little behind the scenes, maybe organize something a little bit differently, but nothing that the members would take note of. It would just be different organization things from my standpoint, or perhaps from Brian's standpoint, but
maybe a hair earlier in the year. It was 42 degrees when the guys jumped into the water, which ended up being a great weather. I mean, the racers never really felt cold, but it was.
Maybe a chill air.
maybe a little earlier in the year.
Beautiful. Hey, Brian and Ashley, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching. This has been an edition of The Road Back, brought to you by Club and Resort Business, Club and Resort Chef, and the Club and Resort Chef Association. Again, this episode was sponsored by Technogym. If you have a great idea or success story you'd like to see featured on a future episode of The Road Back, please contact us at editor@clubandresortbusiness.com.